What's bubbling, magical people? Welcome back to the Witching Hour with Miss Merlin, where we like to talk about all things witchy and magical. I'm your host, Kimmy, aka Miss Merlin, High Priestess and Shamaness, Medicine Woman, Psychic Medium, and Witch Extraordinaire. So let's jump on in. Today we are talking about the beautiful Kuan Yin, or Guan Yin, spelt with a K, spelt with a Q, spelt with a G, all of the above. She is known as, in the Far East, as the Buddhist Madonna. She actually precedes Buddhism, though. Kuan Yin, while originating in Buddhism as Avalokiteshvara, is also a prominent figure in Taoism and Chinese folk religion. Her worship has also extended to various East Asian cultures, like in Japan, where she's referred to as Kanon, and also Korea. And she is recognized in a lot of modern pagan traditions. She's known as the Merciful One, the Goddess of Compassion and Mercy. She helps us balance our karma, fulfill our divine plan. She helps humanity do the alchemy that they need to do with the violet flame. The violet flame is a spiritual energy believed to transform negative thoughts, emotions, karma into positive experiences going forward, often associated with cleansing and healing. The Ascended Master Saint Germain is the most strongly linked to the violet flame, but other deities like Kuan Yin, Jesus, Holy Amethyst, and the Buddha are also associated with the principles of mercy and forgiveness that the violet flame offers. She is an Ascended Master. Her name itself holds so much power. Although her energy is really gentle and nurturing, soft and loving, just saying her name, she'll come. The mantra most closely associated with her is her home mantra, which is Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, there's more associated with her, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Her energy is masculine and feminine. In her masculine form, she's known as Avalokiteshvara, the male Bodhisattva. Another name for Kuan Yin is also Guan Yin, the one who regards, looks on, or hears the sound of the world. Legend has it that she was about to enter the heavens, destined to become a Buddha, and upon the threshold, she heard the cries of humanity and the world. Instead of entering this magical nirvana, she decided to take on the Bodhisattva vow and stay with the souls of the planet Earth and the solar system until all other beings have been fully awakened and guided to their salvation. She does have a home of light in the cosmic world, as do most of the Ascended Masters, and these are called etheric retreats. Kuan Yin's is called the Temple of Mercy. It's in the etheric plane located over Beijing, China. She has the power to heal physical and spiritual ailments. She can cure disease, mend injury, alleviate pain and trauma. She can cleanse impurities from the body and the mind. She's known to rescue those in peril from accidents, natural disasters, or other threats. She can calm storms, extinguish fires, and protect people from harm. Devotees believe and know that Kuan Yin answers sincere prayers. She will aid in guidance in times of need and offer comfort. Her interventions often come in miraculous forms. She is the most compassionate listener to all who call upon her. She offers powerful spiritual protection to those in need of it. Her presence alone creates a sanctuary of peaceful energy, loving energy, and safety. She embodies infinite compassion, offering unconditional love, understanding, and mercy to all beings. Her energy of compassion is not limited to any time, space, or religious devotion. Anyone can call upon her, and like I said, she will respond. She is one of those deities that you call her and like snap your fingers, she is there. If you're just beginning deity work and you're a little hesitant with it, she is an amazing energy to start with. She's one of the most loving, most understanding, compassionate deities. Like I said, if you're new or intimidated, she's great to start with. Beautiful energy. She answers everyone who seeks her aid sincerely. Her main helping purpose is to alleviate suffering in all its forms, whether that's physical pain, emotional distress, trauma, spiritual despair. She's also a great deity to call upon if you've had a difficult relationship with your father, which you will understand when we get into her story. So she is said to appear in 33 different forms, depending on the type of being calling upon her assistance. These are referred to as the 33 manifestations of Kuan Yin, or mantras. Each manifestation represents a quality of hers that can be invoked by chanting the associating mantra. So here's an example of one I think that we need right now. This is number 30. This is Kuan Yin of oneness. So this helps in times of war and upset, intense duality, and that is what's happening in our world right now in a lot of places. So if you're worried about the world, the craziness, this is a really, really good one. So you are going to say Na Mo I Ru Kuan Yin. Okay, so it's always good to say things in succession of threes. So I will, again, I'm going to post a playlist to all 33 mantras and what they can do for you. There's a great one that I found on YouTube. So I will put that in the description box below. But again, this is number 30. It's Na Mo I Ru Kuan Yin. Okay, so if we say that together 3 times, imagine the energy we can send out. So for the 3rd time, Na Mo I Ru Kuan Yin. All right. So there are days that are associated with her if you want to. It doesn't really matter. You can call upon her anytime, okay? But her 3 main sacred days are celebrated on the 19th day of the 2nd, the 6th, and the 9th lunar months, marking her birthday, her enlightenment day, and her renunciation day. The 19th day of the month is always a good one to dedicate to her. And today, being the 19th, should really bode well for us today, connecting with her energy, because we're going to get a message from her at the end. So she is often depicted with long flowing robes, usually in whites, creams, silvers, golds. She's usually shown with her eyes closed or cast down, symbolizing deep contemplation. She's often depicted holding a willow branch, symbolizing flexibility and resilience, the qualities essential for overcoming life's challenges. The willow can bend with the wind and it does not break. In her other hand, she's usually holding a vase containing pure water, representing her ability to purify and heal, bringing peace to troubled souls everywhere. The vase itself is often very ornate and delicate and beautiful. Kuan Yin is also frequently associated with the lotus flower, the symbol of purity and enlightenment itself. She's often seen seated or standing upon the lotus itself. Sometimes she is seen with multiple eyes and arms, signifying her ability to see and help countless beings simultaneously. Her earthly story begins with her birth, and her name at birth was Miao Shan, the youngest daughter of Lady Yin and King Xuan of Chu. From a young age, she displayed a profound spiritual inclination, often spending her days in deep meditation. Her gentle nature and deep empathy for all living beings set her apart from the rest of her family. And despite her father's expectations for her to marry and to continue the royal lineage, her heart was set on a different path. When she was old enough, her father expected her to strategically marry to strengthen his kingdom and political alliances, like her two older sisters before her. But she refused, expressing her wish to become a Buddhist nun and dedicate her life to spirituality, celibacy, and the service of others. She told her father she would only agree to marry if it would solve 3 problems: the suffering of age, the suffering of sickness, and the suffering of death. Her refusal infuriated her father, who could not understand her rejection of a life of luxury and power. Unable to find a match to meet her demands, her father reluctantly agreed to let her join the Buddhist temple. In a desperate attempt to force her into marriage, the king subjected Miao Shan to various hardships and punishments. He ordered the monks to give her the hardest work to discourage her. They forced her to work day and night with no sleep. She was sent to work in the palace garden, hoping that the hard labor would break her spirit. But much to the king's dismay, Miao Shan only strengthened her connection to the plants and the animals animals actually began to help her with her tasks. Her acts of mercy and compassion earned her the admiration of both humans and deities alike. The king was so enraged to learn that Miao Shan was now getting help that he ordered the destruction of the monastery where she was residing. He ordered it to be burned to the ground. Miao Shan intervened and extinguished the flames with her bare hands. Now fearing that his daughter was possessed by some kind of demon, he ordered her put to death. On the day of her sentence, she went meekly to the execution block, but when the executioner brought the axe down, it shattered into 1,000 pieces. His sword then also broke, and then his arrows all veered off course. But seeing all the trouble that she was causing the executioner, she allowed herself to be killed and absorbed the karma of the executioner's actions so he wouldn't have to pay for her death in the afterlife. Talk about selfless. She then arrived in hell, not sure why she was sent there, and the earth around her burst into life and blossoming flowers. Seeing and feeling all the suffering souls around her, she began to weep, and she released all the positive karmic energy that she had accumulated, and this allowed millions of souls to escape this version of hell. Yan Wang, the king of hell, feared that his entire kingdom would collapse, so he allowed her to return to the earth to be reborn as an enlightened being by the name of Kuan Yin. In another version, her father fell gravely ill from a mysterious ailment that no physician could cure. So in a desperate plea for help, the king was informed that only a potion made from the eyes and arms of a pure soul could save him. Learning of this, Miao Shan willingly offered herself her own arms and eyes, sacrificing her physical form to save her father's life. This ultimate act of compassion transcended her human form, and she was reborn as Kuan Yin, the goddess of mercy. So since Kuan Yin took a vow of celibacy, she did not have any descendants. However, she is highly, highly revered as a universal mother energy with boundless compassion for all beings. Kuan Yin is a devotee of the Amitabha Buddha, the Buddha of infinite light. Often in depictions, she is seated to his left. She dedicates herself to alleviating suffering and guiding beings to enlightenment. Her infinite compassion, understanding, and quick response to prayer makes her an amazing deity to work with. She is excellent at assisting with worldly and spiritual challenges, helping you overcome obstacles and progress on your highest path. So now I'm going to tell you a couple of her popular stories. So this one is Kuan Yin and Shankai. Shankai was a young boy who wished to learn the ways of the Bodhisattvas. He was born with a physical disability that left him unable to walk. But despite his limitations, his little heart was set on learning and practicing the teachings of the Bodhisattvas. His devotion caught the attention of Kuan Yin, who saw the purity and strength in his spirit and in his heart. Moved by this, she decided to help him. She appeared before the boy and asked him to show his commitment by attempting to stand. The boy tried to rise, but his legs failed him. Kuan Yin gently encouraged him, reminding him that true strength comes from within. Empowered by her words, the boy tried again, this time feeling a surge of warmth and energy flow through his entire body, and miraculously he found himself standing, his legs strong and steady. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Shankai bowed before the goddess, who then took Shankai under her wing, teaching him the virtues of kindness, resilience, and compassion. She taught him to cultivate inner strength and use it to help others. So another very, very popular story of hers is Kuan Yin and Long Nu. Long Nu, who looks like a dragon, the dragon girl. Long Nu lives in an underwater dragon palace. A part of a very wealthy and powerful family as well. Okay. So she wished to connect to Kuan Yin and learn from her. So she made an offering to her of a beautiful pearl. Kuan Yin, seeing the purity of Long Nu's intentions, accepted the offering with grace. And Long Nu learned under Kuan Yin and all the spiritual principles of compassion, humility, and selflessness. Kuan Yin taught her that true enlightenment comes not from material wealth, but from inner peace and the ability to be in service to others. Long Nu, like Kuan Yin, came from the background of privilege, yet chose a path of enlightenment and service instead. She became a symbol of how even those from privileged backgrounds could obtain spiritual enlightenment through humility and devotion. To connect with Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion, maybe by setting up an altar or a sacred space, you could consider using white or light colored candles, silver, symbolizing purity, the color of her robes usually. If you were going to use some crystals, you could use jade, of course, rose quartz, because rose quartz is the stone of unconditional love and compassion. Amethyst, also protection and calming. Clear quartz, magnifying the intentions. Aventurine, also, or rhodochrosite, associated with her as well. Herbal things you could add as offerings. You could lotus flower, of course, or you could use like a lotus flower incense. The lotus bringing the energy of purity and enlightenment. Willow branches, of course, sacred to her. They ward off evil and promote flexibility. So for incense, like I mentioned, you could use lotus. You could also use any other calming scents like chamomile, lavender, jasmine, rose. Those are also very, very good. If you want to leave offerings, fresh fruit, sweet cakes, and a beautiful chalice or vase with some spring water in it. That's always a wonderful offering as well. And like I said, she will always answer. So you could just light a candle and chant her main mantra, the Om Padme. Oh, I just forgot it. I'm sorry. I will bring it up again at the end when it comes back to me, okay? But I'm going to list them all below. I'm going to leave a playlist in the description box for you guys, okay? But again, she is an amazing energy to connect with. Like I said, if you're a little shy of deity work, you haven't really done it before, or you're a little intimidated by it, she's a wonderful, wonderful energy to connect with. She is so gentle and so compassionate, yet she comes in with such power. Like it's so hard to describe, but you'll recognize it when you see it. Does that make sense? Yeah. She's amazing. I love her. She's one of my, I know I shouldn't have favorites, but she's one of my favorite deities to work with. And you can call upon her for basically anything. And she is just like that beautiful mother energy or older sister or wonderful friend who will listen, right? And just offer up that compassion. And she will help you transmute those traumas and those pains. And most importantly, you will just feel her presence, right? She will answer you. So this is a deity to work with if you need some validation, right? Because she'll give it to you. She will give you signs. She will give you symbols. You will feel that energy. You will know that she's there and that she's listening. Okay? Because that is what she does. And she's like the best at it. So she does go across other pantheons, as I mentioned. She is very, very revered across the Far East in many of those different factions. But you guys know I do like to give you creation stories because it's super, super interesting. So today, just for time's sake, I'm not going to go through all of them. But today we're going to cover the Chinese creation story. Okay, because she does have her bases in Taoism and Buddhism. So this is where we're going to start. So for this creation story, again, this is the Chinese creation story. And with all of them, everything began with a void of chaos. Imagine that. So within the chaos was an egg, the shape of an egg. This cosmic egg swirled with yin and yang. So the egg itself, known as Hundun. Yin energy emerged first. The essence of calm, soothing, governing the night, the moon and the stars, the moon being her symbol, water flowing under her care, rest and time for healing, pausing and reflecting, peace and renewal were her energies. Next emerged yang energy, the complete contrast, bringing with him light, warmth, and activity. He was the counterbalance to yin, embodying energy and movement. He appeared as a radiant figure dressed in garments of gold and bright white. He governed the day, the night, and fire. His role was to stimulate growth, movement, and change. He drove progress, which was in direct contrast to Yin's restful nature. As these two energies continued to define themselves, their interactions created a harmonious balance. Yin brought calm and restoration, and Yang brought energy and growth. They shaped the rhythm of the world, creating a cycle of rest and activity, reflection and progress. Night followed day, allowing for rest. The moon and the sun took turns illuminating the sky. Water and fire energies coexisting with each other, vital for sustaining life. This delicate balance maintained the harmony of the universe, opposites working together. The harmonious union of yin and yang created Pangu. Pangu, Thor. You're going to see why I said that in a minute, okay? If you're familiar and if you've listened to the Thor episode, okay? So Pangu grew within the egg and it began to expand in all directions. The forces of yin and yang separated, yang forming the heavens, yin settled downward to form the earth. Pangu was like a titan, often depicted with a chisel and a hammer, Thor, symbolizing his role as the architect of the world. And I'm going to actually put some pictures on my social media and put some pictures of what Pangu is said to have looked like holding his hammer. And you tell me. All right. So he's referred to as the god of creation. He had the ability to shape the very structure of the world. He separated the earth from the sky, creating the geographical features that would define the world. He split the mountains, dug out the riverbeds, and raised the land from the depths of the sea. Every movement of his immense body contributed to shaping the world. He labored for eons to ensure the world was ready to support life. And once he felt his work was complete, he laid down to rest. His immense body transformed into the features of the earth. His breath became the wind, his blood the rivers, his flesh the soil, and his bones the mountains. His sacrifice was the ultimate act of creation. So the first deities emerged from Pangu's body. So first we have Huaxu, who is the mother goddess in Chinese mythology, embodying elegance and tranquility, often depicted as a serene and beautiful woman wearing flowing robes of like soft natural colors, whites and greens, symbolizing her connection to nature and purity. As the story goes, she came across a giant footprint left by Pangu. This footprint had an amazing energy and power emitting from it, and so Huaxu stepped inside it. Upon doing so, she had a miraculous transformation, uniting with the energy of creation itself, and she became pregnant with the first primordial deities, Fuxis and Nuwa. Fuxis was born first. He is depicted with a human torso and the lower body of a serpent. He possessed the ability to impart wisdom, create order out of chaos. His primary responsibility was to teach humanity essential skills that would enable them to thrive. He introduced the art of writing, allowing people to record their history, communicate complex ideas, and preserve knowledge for future generations. He also taught the technique of fishing and hunting, providing early humans with the means to sustain themselves. Following Fuxi, Nuwa emerged, the goddess of creation and fertility, often depicted as a beautiful woman with the lower body of a serpent, much like Fuxi's. Nuwa's powers included the ability to create life and repair the world. Nuwa's most famous act of creation was molding the first humans from clay. She shaped them with immense care, infusing them with breath to give them life. She also took on the role of protector and nurturer. In one story, the sky was damaged, and Nuwa acted quickly, repairing it with 5 beautiful colored stones. The next deity that came was Shenong, the deity of agriculture and medicine. He was depicted as a strong and wise figure, often shown with plants and herbs, symbolizing his deep understanding of nature and its healing properties. His powers included the ability to cultivate plants, discover their medicinal uses, providing humans with that knowledge to nourish and heal themselves. He taught the secrets of agriculture and herbal medicine, teaching humans to farm so they could be less reliant on hunting and gathering. This also allowed communities to be set up where people could work together. He was later known as the Flame Emperor or Yandi. Together, Fuxi, Nuwa, and Shenong came to be known as the 3 sovereigns. So that is the Chinese creation story. Pretty cool, eh? How a lot of them are so similar. And the energy of Pangu is so the energy of Thor, or and in some ways too the Jotun, like the giants, right, in Norse mythology. So it's so interesting. And they do have some similarities too to the Titans. Like it's just all connected. There's all patterns. And I just find it so cool that before anybody could travel or tell any of these stories, all of these things happened that were the same. Anyways, moving on now, we are going to get a beautiful message from Kuan Yin herself. Okay, as per usual, I shuffled while it was paused because I know some people like the sound and some people do not. All right, so I am using the Kuan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild. That is where we are getting our messages from today. And I find it really interesting that I chose earlier mantra 30 from the 33, right? And the first card that we got today is card number 30. So this one is Spin the Silken Thread Divine. Your past is calling to you. It is calling to be cleared, to be released, and for the beauty and power of the past to be claimed in the present moment, woven together like precious, rare silk. All the experiences, mistakes, adventures, and successes of the past in this and other lifetimes have given your soul plenty of material from which to draw its wisdom, like fine silken threads being woven into beautiful fabric. It has had to grow in awareness, light, capacity, and love in order to be where it is now. You're being guided by Kuan Yin now to realize that your past is nothing to be ashamed of. Even your worst mistakes that you might have judged yourself or others for have been opportunities to really grow in love. The precious silk could not be formed without the rough layers of the cocoon within which the pure thread is spun by the silkworm. So, 2. You have to be able to weave something truly beautiful within the experiences of your life, even those which you no longer need to carry with you as memories or scars. There comes a time to extract the pure thread and cast aside the part that is unusable. You are at that point, beloved, where you must choose to empty out old emotional baggage and take forward with you just the gifts, the skills, the wisdom and talents that you've developed throughout many lifetimes, so that you can move into a new cycle that is calling you forward. Sometimes that can feel very unfamiliar and causes some anxiety, as we do not have the old emotional behavioral patterns to hold on to as we go through life. Yet, there is no need to be fearful of this process because as you release the old, a beautiful new patterning will emerge from within you. You'll have new emotions, new ways of being available to yourself, born from your past experiences, but not limited by them. Kuan Yin, mistress of the spinning of the spiritual silk, is with you now, and this process can be filled with peace, joy, and love. You will feel lighter in the process and feel more able to be your divine self in all ways. Now, my left ear is ringing a lot as I was just reading the last part of that message. Okay, so left side being the feminine side in the left ear. Okay, so I think this is really, really resonating with some feminines, okay, but doesn't just have to be. But also I want to say too, the depiction on the card is a full moon, and she is seated in front of it, and you can see through the shirt that she's wearing. All right, so whenever you can see naked breasts in a card, it's calling for vulnerability. Right? It's calling for you to open up in that heart space. The next card as well is also her with naked breasts. Okay. So just saying, I am going to try and post these on my Instagram. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it'll let me do that. I don't think it will, because I usually get flagged every time I put up any cards that have any type of nudity anywhere, even if it's just illustrated. So anyways, okay guys, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Okay, naked breasts, 2 cards, vulnerable. Okay, vulnerability is key right now. All right, and she is an excellent deity to be vulnerable with. You don't have to be afraid of that at all. Not with Kuan Yin. All right, so as I was saying, the second card also having the naked upper body. So this is Sweeping Sister Willow. All right, so again, asking you to be vulnerable, asking you to open up this heart space area. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is a way to raise your vibration by shedding old energies that drain you and prevent you from having all your power available to you. It's a chance to free yourself from suffering and empower yourself. Sweeping Sister Willow guides you to forgive others and yourself abundantly and freely now. You may be very aware of your own need for forgiveness, or this may come as a surprise to you, in which case be open to hearing the truth of who or what needs to be forgiven and released. From the Willow Mother, from deep within your own heart. It may be a small incident from when you were a child or a significant experience that you have just put to one side in an effort to carry on with your life. This approach has been admirable, but yet there's always time to confront, forgive, and move on. Not just in the mind, but in the body as well. This oracle indicates that you may be in the process of forgiving others, and that you also need to remember to forgive yourself for being human and needing to learn and grow just like everyone else. I feel this message is more about you forgiving yourself. Okay? I'm also called to notice that my battery on my phone is at 77% right now. Okay, so 77, I want you to look that up as a spirit number message for you, okay? 77 could also be like a significant number. I know it is for me. It's the year I was born. But I just want to mention something too. When we talk about forgiveness of others, right? Especially people who have really abused or hurt us, okay? That doesn't have to look like the way that people present it to look like, okay? So when we say forgiveness, we just mean we're just letting go of it. We're not going to hold on to it anymore. You're not letting someone off the hook for being a terrible person. That's not what you're doing. You're just choosing to not hold that energy within yourself anymore. It has nothing to do with letting them off the hook or something like that, okay? It doesn't have to be like that, okay? It can look like anything you want it to look like, all right? I just felt like I needed to say that. Yeah. Don't allow people back into your life, too, that just continuously hurt you because you're trying to do the quote-unquote enlightened thing, right? You're trying to give people the benefit of the doubt and offer the forgiveness. And no, we still have to have boundaries to not allow shitty people to continue to be shitty people in our lives. They can continue elsewhere, but you aren't going to drain my energy or hurt me or, hold me back in any way. I'm not going to allow that. So I'm going to cut the cord to that. So I think this is more what this message is saying. Okay, there may be some cords to some past things that you need to cut yourself free from. All right, this applies to family too. Just because someone is blood, that doesn't entitle them to be a shitty person to you. Okay, or to continue to abuse you or hurt you in some way, some particular way. You are free and allowed to set boundaries with anyone. Anyone. Okay? No one's going to do it for you. You are the only one who is going to protect you. Right? So do it fiercely and unapologetically. And let yourself off the hook, too, for stuff that you didn't know better at the time. Right? Like, we always coulda, woulda, shouldas. Right? We have to stop doing that to ourselves. We torture ourselves, right? With the knowledge we have now, of course, we could always go back and make a situation better if we could implement it, but we never can. That's never going to happen. So wasting energy going back and try to, figure out ways we could have said something better or done something better, or we all do this too. We go back and shame ourselves for an embarrassing moment we had in grade 6 in class, something stupid we said out loud. I just want to say, like, no one remembers that but you. Everyone else is too focused on their own embarrassing shit from the past to remember yours. Okay? Like, maybe there's some stuff people remember. But for the most part, like, we're all going over things that nobody else on the planet even thinks about but us, right? We have to stop doing that to ourselves. It is such a waste of energy, right? The next card we have here is the Dance Unveiling. Often, what we think we know is only a small part of the bigger picture. With some more information, what we think is the truth can shift, sometimes dramatically, and reveal a completely different reality. Sometimes we really imagine a situation, person, or place to be all that we think or feel that it is, only to find out that it's not quite that way at all, after all. And some time and involvement has passed. There's an important situation in your life right now that I feel is still unfolding, and if you have yet to perceive it fully. It is safe for you to be patient and curious and trust what you feel is unfolding now. Don't rush to set things in motion, to form a structure, or even to make things concrete until you've had a chance to be clearer about the situation or process. There will be a time in the near future when you will realize that the graceful cosmic dance of Kuan Yin has unfolded and a veil has been lifted for you. At the time, you will realize that you are seeing much more clearly and accurately than you have previously been able to. Now, what I'm noticing with this one is her eyes are closed in this depiction and she has the extra arms. Now, we talked about the story of her sacrificing her arms and her eyes for her father. So this might have something to do with a father energy, okay? That's just something that's coming through right now. It might not, okay? Could just do with a masculine energy, just kind of feeling that. All right? So just feel your way through whatever situation. Ask for guidance, okay? Ask for Kuan Yin's support because she will provide it to you. Remember, we're in Mercury retrograde right now too, okay? Things are going to be coming up. There's going to be situations from the past, people from the past, things like that popping up. Okay? So this is also a message to maybe not act upon those things, okay? Set a boundary and try a different path. Okay? That's another message that I'm getting here. Or also just be aware this is happening because it's Mercury retrograde. What is this coming back around to show me? Why? Why is it here? What is the lesson here? Because if I get that, then this doesn't have to circle back around to me anymore, right? Because that's how it works. So just ask the questions and be patient, okay? This might not be a time for action right now, okay? Be waiting for things to unfold, all right? Veils to lift. Okay, things are becoming clearer, though, and see-through, like I said. The depictions here of Kuan Yin, she's wearing see-through things on her upper body, okay? So, and there is talk in the card about veils lifting, okay? So, just have a little patience, right? Just try to breathe through Mercury retrograde for right now, okay? I think there's some things that are going to be unveiled and some information is going to get a little clearer, okay? But don't try to force it beforehand, okay? Because I think that's just going to muddy up the waters. Does that make sense? I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense. All right, so I was just saying about certain energies that could be circling back around and testing you, okay? I'm just heard testing your patience. And we have the radiant moon of compassion here. And this card says, beloved, you are currently challenged, maybe, by lower vibrational energies. This is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, you have called this situation to you, your higher self has, so that you may grow spiritually. Kuan Yin is with you to ensure that you're victorious. These energies of challenge may appear to be external in the form of a person, place, thing, or situation, or current or past relationship. They may appear to be internal in the form of a habit, maybe of self-doubt, self-judgment, or judgment or criticism of others. You can either choose to allow these energies to pull you down into fear or judgment, or you can choose to grow spiritually through the practice of compassion and liberate yourself into greater peace, love, and freedom. Kuan Yin shines through her radiant moon of compassion, reaching to you to allow you to nourish and lift you, to help you as you choose to rise above, growing spiritually stronger as a result. Compassion does not mean becoming a doormat or indulging in emotional suffering, or even the manipulations or games that another is trying to seek to play from a partially aware or wounded state. It does not mean collapsing into sympathy and seeking to rescue others from their own life choices and experiences. Yes, what I was just saying. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Compassion is recognition of the power of all souls to co-create their life experience. Compassion is also the recognition of the struggle that humankind can experience in the process of spiritual growth, and a gentle, loving compassion for all of humanity, not from a position of spiritual arrogance, but from a position of kindness and generosity of spirit. Compassion aligns you back to your soul light and to your own spiritual power, and it lifts you to freedom. Allow the beloved mother to shine her radiant moon of compassion into your heart right now and help you free yourself from judgment and back to wisdom, discernment, and peace. You deserve no less. So all the stuff that I was just saying, okay? Be aware of what's coming back around. Okay, and the final card that we have on the bottom of the deck here is the 8 Immortals. So sometimes you may question whether you are in contact with genuine spiritual guidance or engaging in wishful thinking. Genuine guidance is simple, clear, and repetitive. When you ask for confirmation, it will come. The more open you are, the more quickly the confirmation can reach you in the form of signs, conversations, serendipitous happenings. In fact, confirmation and guidance can be instantaneous from multiple unconnected sources, like the universe is playing a joyful, loving game with you. The guidance will be uplifting and helpful. Sometimes it will ask you to take steps that feel challenging, and yet true guidance always proves itself, and it asks you to do what is right and just for your highest good. It always serves the highest good of all involved in any situation, no matter what our fears might be. It is good to be careful and discerning about the quality of guidance that you are seeking, but it is usually an easy task to identify when guidance is not of a higher vibrational variety. It will be judging of you or others. It won't feel right. If it's genuine guidance, it won't be asking you to do something unexpected or something that feels wrong to you. Genuine guidance, even when challenging, will bring you a sense of rightness and peace to your heart. Whereas lower vibrational guidance or thoughts or wishful thinking doesn't bring you into a deeper peace. It will simply confuse and confirm a judgment, and that really is not helpful. Sift through your thoughts and feelings to come to the genuine guidance and true spiritual knowing within you that you have now. everyone's inherently psychic. Everyone has an intuition, right? We've all had that, oh, I should have listened to myself, right? You have to start doing that, okay? But this is what we're doing, is we're discerning what is fear, and what is actual genuine guidance. And this is kind of what we're working on here. I think this Mercury retrograde is really kind of a test for a lot of people in this department. I'm feeling that from a lot of my clients. In my own life, it's going on with some of my friends. I know we're just in the pre-shadow period right now for Mercury retrograde, and already, like, I had issues yesterday. It was a test of faith, a test of patience for sure, because things kept going wrong and acting up for me in like technological stuff, like things I cannot control. And it was very frustrating. And that was the thing. Do I flip out? Right? Do I lose my shit over this? No. I'm just going to sit here and take a breath and take a moment. I'm going to figure it out. And I don't have to put all that energy into freaking out. Right? So I think I might have passed the test yesterday. I don't want to... Actually, I hate that I just said that out loud, because now that I did, Mercury's going to be like, oh yeah, bitch, you think so? Oh no, what did I just call upon myself? But no, I really do think that I did good yesterday. So if you guys are being tested, I really hope that you're just kind of moving through it the best that you can. All right. And just talk to people. That's what's going to help. All right. Like-minded souls. All right. Your friends. Talk to people. Don't hold things inside and just keep things to yourself and try to deal with everything alone. I know a lot of people are experiencing that right now, right? A lot of us grew up having to kind of take care of ourselves. So that's the thing that we do now. When we have something going on, we just kind of retreat. And that's not healthy, because there are relationships around us now that can be trusted and, that can be helpful through these situations. And working these relationships with these deities as well, right? Calling upon these deities and building up these relationships and these trustful, almost like therapy sessions with your guides, right? Yeah, give it a try. Give it a try. Give Kuan Yin a call. Invite her in. I promise you she will answer. She just has the best energy. I can't say enough about her. And again, I will link all the mantras, what do you call it? The playlist. Sorry. Brain not braining. Okay. I will link the playlist in the description below, as well as the links to my social medias. And if you guys want to book with me, if you want some answers or some guidance too, and you would like to book a reading, get a healing, something like that, all my information, my prices and services can be found on my social media. Most active on Instagram and TikTok. The TikTok pinned videos is where you'll find the services and pricing. Instagram, it's going to be in the highlights. All right, guys, I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of your weekend and much, much, much magic, and wonderful things to come your way. And I'll see you next week. Stay magical, guys. Love you.